All right. Are we live? Are we live? What is good, everybody? KazamaFury here. And it's crazy, you know? Hey, what's up? What's up? What's going on? Finally worked my third day. I'm free from work for the next 4 days. And I have to say, wow, it has been a crazy time in the gaming industry right now. Hey, what's going on? Oh, hey, it's been a crazy time, and you know, recently in light of this whole next gen, a lot of people have been lied to as fanboys, and you know me, you can look at my background right now and you know where I stand when it comes to gaming. But it's been like I don't know what it's been, y'all. Is it the pandemic? Is it that people got this free time on their hands? Is it that they have nothing else to do but game? But you know, we've always dealt with fanboys where we have them that have been on this really possessive, biased run, especially here in especially when it comes to the Sony camp, you know? And we all know that recently because of the purchase of Bethesda by Microsoft. Well, ZeniMax, which grants them games from Bethesda, Tango, GameWorks, numerous other companies under them. So it's been crazy. And no one has been saltier than the Sony fanboys, and I have to laugh at that. As for somebody who actually has a library of Sony games, as you can see from here, PS4, PS3, PS2, okay, alright, and a little bit of PS1 up here, you know, up here in this area. So this is not me like, oh yeah, this generation rules, this, you know, Sony this, Sony that. No, this is a fan, because look at what I have from Microsoft. Xbox One games, okay? Xbox 360 games, okay? Original Xbox games, because those are 3 generations that come. And look what I just got from eBay for like $8 and some change, in damn good condition, y'all. Check this out. I just got this from eBay. Tales of Vesperia. So I'm like, I collect games, I play games, okay? You know, people don't believe you play games. You have to sit online all day and play them like you have time. I work 12 hours a day, y'all. So it's like, back on subject here, the whole thing with Bethesda has really shown just, we already knew that the Sony pony was like on a level of, how can we say, delusion, pettiness, just a lot of things. But this right here, the hypocrisy shows that it knows no bounds. You know, you can be playing Bethesda games and enjoying Elder Scrolls and enjoying this franchise and that franchise, but ain't it funny, the moment it becomes ownership of Microsoft, oh, they trash this, that, and the fourth. This typical fanboy fashion. I don't care what side of the spectrum, if you're Microsoft, Nintendo, or Sony fanboy, the typical protocol. Oh, it's trash, it sucks, this, that, and the fourth. They trash anyway and stuff. And there's been a lot of bullshit going on. Oh yeah, and let's not forget Nintendo and show Nintendo love, you know, because Nintendo don't got much third-party games to offer, so I don't have much Nintendo games, because number one, not every first-party franchise I'm a fan of. I mean, franchise game I'm a fan of, you know. I don't give a damn what console that. Well, Sony probably has the most first-party games I bought, because I ain't no dick. I'm a I'm gonna show you what I do have that's only on PlayStation as exclusive. Bloodborne, never played it, will play it soon. If I was bold, you think I had problems with Shinobi? Oh, you ain't seen nothing yet. I watched enough people play it. I'm like, you know what? I'm glad it came with the package deal. I bought it during Christmas, so it was dirt cheap. They're selling it for $10. Maybe one day I get around to play. Look at this. Look at this. This is a Bethesda game, y'all. And it's on PlayStation because they're going to still honor the whole license. They're going to honor that. Whatever was set to be released on multiple consoles will still be the case. Case in point, The Outer Worlds, Obsidian, purchased before. I'm planning on getting both of them. It's just that I'm not going to be rushing and going crazy and fighting with people to get it on launch, because I brought up in the video before that since Miles Morales is coming to the PlayStation 4 same day, what game is there on launch date? Not in the coming cycle of games coming. I'm talking about on launch day. What game on launch day can I only get on PlayStation 5? I'll wait. This is what I've been trying to say to people. This is no diss to the PlayStation 5. I'm just saying, seriously. Yeah, I said, the ponies say the same thing about Microsoft. They've been saying it for years. Now, turn the mirror on them, and they have nothing to really say. They don't. What game on the PlayStation 5 is made it worth? Oh, because I can play it in a slightly better resolution on the PS5 that I'm gonna go nuts and spend $500, but instead of waiting. Yo, what's going on, Demetrius? You had George Lucas is going to restart the site. I'm tired. You know what? I'm gonna get to the Star Wars fan base in a moment. Man, I got some words to say, but on this, there's nothing coming. You know what? Let me look up what PS5 games are available on launch. Let's do this. Let's go to let's go here. Let's see. Let's see what's launched. I want to see that because I really need to know by myself. You said PS5. Oh shit, Nemesis, how you been, man? I didn't know you still were around. I watched what videos you have dropped. Hey, Chris, what's going on, everybody? Okay, Demon Souls, the enhanced version. That alone is PS5 only. Is it enough for me to buy a system on launch? I'm talking about on launch. You want to wait until you have a slew of games that you can't get. You can only get on PlayStation 5. Demon Souls is one. Miles Morales isn't one. I can get that on PS4 Pro and call it a day. Sackboy will also be on PS4, even if I was into Sackboy. Gearbox, Godfall. No, not really. Nothing I really see that I really want. Okay. Yeah, they not erasing that trilogy, man. They not erasing it. They trying this they had rumors about this alternate world. Let me see what's going on with this stream, y'all. I'm trying. I know this it's been, my computer's been bugging, y'all. And then let me see. Yeah, they've been rumors that Metal Gear Solid will be will be remade only on PlayStation 5. I just can't help but think that rumor started because of the whole Bethesda thing to kind of take the piss out of that. But no, again, Astro's Playroom. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, not exclusive. I'm talking about exclusive, something that makes me want to buy just the PlayStation 5. And I'm sorry, Demon Souls will make me pull my hair out. I'm good with that one. Astro's Playroom, not my thing. Godfall, don't look like anything I want to play on day one. I don't give a damn if it was on Xbox either. Miles Morales will buy on PlayStation 4. Nothing. There's nothing out right now that I want for it. Xbox Series X, the only thing Xbox Series X can really offer me right now is playing games I'm currently playing in a better resolution. So, let me see what they have. You know what? That's a good question. There's really nothing. People just want them right now because they're going to be hard to get. And it's that FOMO effect that Jim Sterling always talk about. Fear of missing out. You know? Nemesis, you said I've been busy. A lot of stuff coming to my channel. So many hands. Your hands been tied up. Your grumblings of Parasite Eve. Yeah, I've heard a lot of stuff about different ones. RE Village, Nemesis, not my cup of tea. I hated RE7, and this seems to be more of the same. And I'm not good. No, I'm not happy with this. I'm not happy with Van Helsing. I'm not happy with Wolf Creatures. I know at the end they're gonna probably have a stereotypical, oh, this is man. You're gonna get to a science lab and realize that the village has been experimented on. Blah 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 blah. What is Chris up to? They saying this is his last game. More than like they rumored that it's the end of his story. Is it Ethan or is it Chris? It could be Chris. I don't fucking know. And then he was like, nah, there's enough to justify purchase. You said that, Demetrius. People should hang it up. The age of exclusives are coming to an end. Yes, they are coming to an end. And Microsoft is going to see to that. Because, you think they're going to stop putting every game, they're going to make every game an Xbox exclusive when they can spread the wealth and make more money off of it? They can make more money making it exclusive, but then they can make residual money off of having it. I mean, like, that's why you think Cuphead came to GameCube. I mean, to Switch. Why you think Minecraft is on all 3 systems, even though Microsoft owns Minecraft, because Minecraft sells. They're not stupid. They're not stupid. And yes, Chris, RE has become unrecognizable, and George Lucas, let me tell you something, King of Games, they sent George Lucas running. The Star Wars fanboys sent George Lucas running because they're never satisfied. I'm talking about the militant fanboys who hate everything. They hate everything. They hated the prequel trilogy, and then when the sequel trilogy came out, they hated that they started praising the prequel trilogy, which this is why I love Star Wars, but I can't fucking stand the fans. Elder Scrolls sells out on the level of Rockstar game. Yes, you're right. They're not going to stop that. Now, Doom, they can make Doom a Xbox One and PC only game. They can do that. They got the power to do that now. That's more feasible than Elder Scrolls being only a Microsoft console game. But I don't understand why people got their panties in a bunch so much over this, for the simple fact that what was that Sony made? They went out and got Final Fantasy. Oh, Final Fantasy 16 is only going to be out on the PlayStation 5 and the PC. Demon Souls is coming to PC too. Even they made a mistake and showed that too early, but we know it's coming. You know, even though I hate RE7 as an RE game, I feel like RE Village has better. Nah, I can admit it does have potential to be something, but I don't fucking like Ethan. I don't fucking like the story. Like they I don't know if they threw this in for the trailer that just Chris would just come and cold-bloodedly shoot me to death. I know it's just a trailer and we don't know everything about the game, but it's not like they pulled me in, you know? And then now they even tying all of this to Resident Evil 3, you know? Well, Resident Evil 4 remake, I mean Resident Evil 3 remake is tied heavily into Resident Evil 4 now. Y'all know that, right? And you said Final Fantasy 16 is Orlando series, and they're gonna do it. Are they gonna do it with Donald Glover with Childish Gambino because he was him in Solo? And you said 16 is a timed exclusive, and timed exclusive, yeah, and because they made it sound like it was a console exclusive, so I don't know. Oh yeah, the Tokyo Game Show's tomorrow. I keep forgetting that. Yeah, Square makes too much money to make their best-selling franchise exclusive, and this isn't the type. Oh shit, yeah. That's them doing it again with the you said Madame Zeroni. That's them doing it again. What movies they gonna rip off this time? We had Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and we had, what else they made references to? Evil Dead, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Then they stole elements of gameplay from Outlast. They stole the whole concept of a creepy little girl character from Fear. There was so much shit that they stole, and I was like, this is not Resident Evil. It's like at the end they was like, oh, we got this game here that is radically different from Resident Evil. We need to tie it into Resident Evil somehow. Okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna put maybe one note here that has references to past Resident Evil games. We're gonna put one note here that the person who designed the Spencer Mansion designed the Baker Mansion. Even though the Baker estate looked like a piece of shit, I'm like, this don't make any sense. And then we're gonna put Chris Redfield in the game. We're gonna take a character that wasn't meant to be Chris Redfield. That's my opinion. And then they're gonna slap the Redfield name on it. That's what I felt like. The game was such a radical departure from Resident Evil 7. I mean, from Resident Evil, they had to reel it in somehow. Just like Resident Evil, just like Devil May Cry was Resident Evil 4. It was such a radical departure. Look what they did. They created Devil May Cry, one of the best-selling, most beloved franchises that Capcom has made. But when Resident Evil came out, they couldn't do it again. They couldn't do it this time again. They couldn't make another franchise again because Capcom got complacent with making money and milking a franchise to the ground, even though they was sitting on gold as a new franchise of its own. They were sitting on gold. And this is my opinion. This is not me speaking fact. I felt like this game was not, it derived so, it went so far, but it could have been reeled back in. It could have been its own franchise, but they had to slap certain Resident Evil aspects on it just to make it enough to be Resident Evil. And it felt so detached. You know? Let me catch up with the comment section. So we shall see what happens tomorrow on Tokyo Game Show. Square makes so much money up. They do. Final Fantasy 15 even, it sold a decent amount, even though the Xbox One has a far lower console in-house rating. They sold only maybe 48 million total compared to PlayStation's 100 something million. They still sold a decent amount on they sold a decent amount of copies on Xbox One. And in this new generation, Square Enix, I think they see how successful Game Pass has been. They'd be crazy not to put it on Game Pass eventually, which I know they're gonna do. Get back to the comment section. He said Nemesis Capcom's teasing the RE4 remake, and I bet, just like Scorpion said, the content creator Scorpion, he said, look forward to them using a lot of assets that they used in RE Village and the Resident Evil 4 remake, because we know that's coming. I mean, Village is Village reminds me of fucking Resident Evil 4, just in first person. That's what it looks like to me, man. I'm sorry. Make it look different enough, you know. And I said before in the, about Resident Evil 4 remake rumors, look, if you're gonna remake it, bring back Nick Apostolidis to do a more older version of Leon. I mean, I know Paul Haddad died and stuff, but I've loved Nick Apostolidis' voice performance as Leon. I like it so much in the Resident Evil 2 remake. It really modernized, but still gives me that same kind of rookie cop Leon feel that I had, even though it's a new voice actor. It still gives me that same feel. If you go to my channel, look at the RE3 video. All right, I'm gonna look at. Let me see if I can bring that up. Hold on. Let's go to green screen browser. Let's go to properties, browser source. Let's go to interact. Oh no, wrong one. Let's go to properties. I'm trying to go here, but I can't bring up the. I think I know what's wrong. I have to enable the green screen browser. Hold on. Let's go to Brio. Let's go to filters. Let's go to chroma key. And let's see if I can do that. Let's go to close. Let me see if I can enable the filter, and I will be able to check it. Give me 1 second. Let's go to browser source. Let's go to properties. I want to make sure. It's not allowed. Somehow it's not working for. All right, so I got this one back with the green, with the chroma key enabled in it, but give me 1 second. Oh, no wonder. All right, you see what happens when I try to go to Google. I'm gonna try to fix this. So how's everybody doing? Let me know in the comment section. You know, it's been a while since I talked to everybody. See, Google works. All right, cool. Okay. All right. So let's go to youtube.com. There we go. That's weird. Let's wait for everything to load. Let's go to my subs. Okay, I see myself there. Let's go home. Trying to find it. It's been weird, man. Where's Barry is up. Oh yeah, the boys. Let me find it. I don't know. I'm trying to navigate it by by like order here, so I can actually find it. Because you know, it usually pop up. I gotta. Sometimes they disconnect the whole feature. What's the feature where you get the live updates? So I have to put the notification bell back on. So I know what to do. I'm gonna have to do it this way. I just want to see. I'm gonna put in a reference novel. See if they can. Yeah, because for some reason I can't access it. I can't access it by a subscriber, like the people I'm subscribed to. For some reason, it won't allow me to do that. I see Scorpion's content that I was talking about that I'm subscribed to, but I'm trying to find yours so I can react to it. I feel it's a great album. Final Fantasy 6. Oh yeah, that's the one with Kefka, right? Everybody talk about Kefka was truly a fucking villain. Here we go, I found you. I had to think, I had to put in narration. You talking about this one right here? That video? Let's see.
So the new trailer for Resident Evil 8 has been released, and this will be my official breakdown for the trailer. So without further ado,
enable the
let's
sound.
jump right into it.
Let me see why this isn't playing. Here we go to OBS. I mean to voice meter and see what's going on with this. All right, give me a second, y'all. Oh, it's a Carlos video. Okay. Let's go to interact. But I gotta set up everything. I wonder why he got the same. They got Jeff Shine back to do the voice, and it clearly sounds like Carlos. Hey, which one is it? Are you talking about this one here, the Carlos Rivera scenario? Alright, I see it. Alright, I just gotta try to enable the sound. Next to the RE7 video. Oh yeah, I see it right there. I'm gonna try to enable the sound somewhere in the trailer. So I need to be playing something in the background, and y'all let me know when the sound kicks in. Hold on. Let's... Alright, good. I can find a channel like this. I'm gonna play this one here. I'm gonna work on the sound, okay? Alright, so I'm gonna play this one while I'm trying to restore the sound to it. I see it here.
We see
Desktop
Ethan
audio,
Winters waking up,
but
with voices being heard in the
it's not
background.
coming through.
In another shot of the trailer,
Y'all can't hear it, right? Y'all can see it, but y'all can't hear it, right?
It also seems that they are also with Chris Redfield as well. I found this quite interesting. because it looks like
I
Chris is
can't
against
hear it.
Ethan
Can
in
you
this
hear
game.
it?
Come on, move!
Can you guys hear anything
Chris?
of the video playing?
What the hell?
Oh, you can't hear it. I
Take him
can't.
away.
Let me reestablish that. All right.
In Resident Evil 7, Chris Redfield
Because I'm
saved
gonna
Ethan
hear it.
Winters and was on his side.
So
seeing
I am
Chris
going to
betrayed
go
Ethan in
bring up my
Resident Evil
voice
8
meter in the
will be
meantime while that
interesting to see.
plays.
And to see this unfold,
You know,
and why it
give
actually
you a
happened.
shameless plug.
Maybe Chris found out a
Alright,
dark secret
so-
about Ethan and Mia Winters, and maybe
Let's
Chris
see, let's
discovers the
see.
truth, which possibly leads to the events of Chris shooting
Let's
Mia
go to
that was
voice
shown
meter.
in the last trailer. Hopefully we will be able to play as Chris Redfield and discover why this all unfolds. There was also been things said that Chris might actually be brainwashed and controlled by Umbrella, which could explain why people might think Chris Redfield could be a
Now
villain.
I can hear it. I always got
The
to
next shot of
change
the
this
trailer,
virtual
we see
input.
some more locations, while also hearing a creepy narration of the new witch-like character,
Now I can hear
which
it.
was shown in the last trailer.
In life and in death, we give glory. The bell tolls for us all. They're coming again!
Looking at the witch character, I have to say, watching this part for the first time, it honestly freaked me out. So I am looking forward to seeing more of her character.
Madam
As the
Zeroni.
story
I'm gonna get to the
unfolds,
Carlos.
and
I'm gonna
Resident
watch
Evil
this one
8
later, but I'm gonna get to the
we
Carlos
then see a
Oliveira one.
glimpse of the werewolf-like creature chasing Ethan through a cabin. This scene is probably a continuation with the same scene from the last trailer, where Ethan encountered the old man before getting brutally killed by the creature. These werewolf-like
get to that one. Let me go
look
to
like they will be
interact.
fast, so it does look like the game will be more challenging when trying to outrun them.
Right. Let's go to videos. And we're gonna go here.
Two months after the release of the Resident Evil 3 remake, there has been a lot of mixed reviews regarding this game. One thing that stood out regarding the remake was that a lot of content was cut out, leaving fans disappointed with the final results. Peter Fabiano stated in an interview that there will be no added content to the game, and that the Resident Evil 3 remake is a finished product. This news did not go well with fans, leaving them disappointed in the process. For this video, we are going to be discussing a certain aspect of the remake, and this involves the character Carlos Oliveira. So without further ado, let's get right into it.
Hey Jamal.
On September 29, 1998, Joe Valentine makes her way to a bridge, where she ends up spotting Nemesis in the process. We see Nemesis burning, and then shortly after, falls into the water. Later on, a giant mutation in Nemesis jumps out of the water while trying to attack Jill in the process. While this happens, Nemesis ends up chasing Jill down, where Jill ends up fighting Nemesis at the clock tower. After battling Nemesis, Jill is then seen walking past Nemesis's body. Jill makes her way through the clock tower, making her way back to Carlos. While this happens, she is then later grabbed by Nemesis and ends up pulling Jill towards him. While this happens, Jill ends up shooting a gate, forcing it to collapse on Nemesis's arm, cutting his arm off in the process. Jill ends up getting free from Nemesis's grasp while trying to escape through the clock tower. Shortly after, Jill ends up getting stabbed in the arm by Nemesis, getting infected with the T-virus. A half a day later, Carlos ends up finding Jill in front of the clock tower unconscious. Shortly after, Carlos ends up taking Jill to the Raccoon City Hospital. The only question that still remains, where was Carlos during this event? One theory that I had was that during this event, after Carlos leaves Tyrell in the RPD to go search for Jill, Carlos ends up going to other locations along the way, such as the Raccoon City Hall and
That
the
would
Raccoon
make
City
sense.
Park. This could have been a great opportunity for M2 to put in the game,
That's dope.
giving Carlos another scenario, allowing players to have more exploration to areas such as the chapel, City Hall, the park, and the clock tower, with more puzzles to solve,
Got a point?
and more boss battles from the original, such as the Gravedigger, giant spiders, and possibly a sequence with Nemesis along the way. leading up to the events where Carlos ends up finding Jill at the clock tower. So where was Carlos Oliveira during this event? Now that we know the Resident Evil 3 remake will not be getting any more content, that question will forever remain unanswered.
All right, interact. You bring up a valid point about that. What could have been fitted? What could fit into that Resident Evil through that timeline right there? But in the same time, I have this feeling that Capcom basically they streamlined the shit out of Resident Evil 2 and 3. They modernized it. I don't know. They said they could barely get the alligator in Resident Evil 2 Remake. They had to find a way to make it work because they was about to cut him out too. So I don't know if they was pressed for time. I don't know if they couldn't fit it in. I really don't know. My thing is that yes, there was a lot more things they could have did with Resident Evil 3. That was a big chunk of time. That right there. Somebody actually, you Nemesis, you put effort into like realizing like, goddamn, that was a big chunk of time. You could have put so much into that with Carlos. Whereas some people would just be like, nah, it could have been longer. They could have so much stuff. Like nobody brought a logical sense to it. They just blah 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 like regurgitate. You actually looked at the time and spanned that, and that's what you did. I like that. Good shit, man. Good shit. You know? Good shit. Let's go back to this one. Let me see, catch the video. And you can watch it if you want. See my thoughts on it. Yeah, I want to see somebody else's thoughts on it who is like, you know what? It looks interesting, but because some people get mad at me. Somebody actually tried to tell me that RE7 was better than RE4. I'm like, not really. And then there's always somebody that's like, well, yeah, RE4 was the Doom for franchise. I'm like, no, you gotta understand. RE4 is Shinji Mikami's creation. And just like Resident Evil 2, he was not happy with the first product, so he scrapped it and went and built it back up from the ground up. Resident Evil 5 and 6 are not Shinji Mikami's games, okay? They're not. So don't say 4 spelt Doom for the franchise. No. 5 and 6 just weren't following up in the way that you expect. Now, I liked 5 more than 6, because 5 had co-op. That right there did it for me, but hell, 6 had co-op, but 6 tried to be too much to too many people because Capcom got lazy. It was like, you know what? Gears is popular, this game is popular, that game is popular, and that's when 6 is when it started going off of the rails and becoming it, but it was still Resident Evil. You still had Leon, you had Chris, you had Ada and stuff. But then 7 was like, 6 was on the brink, and 7 just was like, when it came to familiarity, where it really went off the rails. And this is when 7 could have been its new franchise, like a new Capcom franchise that had nothing to do with Resident Evil. It could have been a man searching for his wife, get caught up in the world of this type of thing and these different monstrosities, and could have been, we thought these stories were just folklore. This is really happening. These type of mold, these creatures exist. And then it could have been like, all right, 7 is more of that, and it couldn't have been Chris. 8 could have been more of that, but instead of Chris having to be the one to come up and show up and shoot Mia to death and knock you out, and you end up in Romania somewhere, it could have been somebody completely different who know that you survived the events of 7, and you know too much, or you know something, and something like that, and it could have went like that. But I don't know, man. And people said RE7 was better than those people started playing Resident Evil at 7. They saw a first-person game that looked like something creepy, and these are a lot of Outlast fans that came over to the franchise when it went first-person. And then people were like, oh, Resident Evil 7 was this, it was that. I'm like, you realized in Resident Evil 7 you were doing the same shit. The shit that you complained about in Resident Evil 5 and 6 with the action, you end up doing it. Remember, you complained about Jake using melee attacks, or all the characters using melee attacks in RE6, and guess what happened? When you played as the Baker brother, Joe was beating up Molded with his bare fucking hands. You done spent the majority of RE7 not being able to barely block them and fight them off, like with bitch ass Ethan. And then you telling me you were solely happy and RE7 was great when Ender Zoe came out, and you were playing Rock'em Sock'em Robots with fucking Molded, the same Molded that you couldn't best without weapons with Ethan. You were just beating them up, and then you got a fucking power glove. You got a power glove, y'all. And then you were using voodoo dummies to give you certain creatures, and then you were eating worms and shit. I'm like, this is so fucking stupid. And from a Resident Evil standpoint, this is stupid. And then Not a Hero, don't make me laugh, because you were shooting zombies, you shooting Molded and setting them up, and you were punching them with Chris. He might not have looked like Boulder punching Chris in Resident Evil 5, but he was still doing the same shit you were doing in the older Resident Evil games. But because it had first person on it, it made it all the better. This is why I fucking had problem with Resident Evil 7 fanboys. They're hypocrites. What was doing for the franchise? Me, I still don't think 4 was doing for the franchise. 4 was a step in the right direction, and when Shinji Mikami got ousted from Capcom, they did not follow up on his baby the right way. They turned it into an action game, whereas 4 had a lot of action in it, but 4 was tense, and 4 had a lot of ways to die in that game, and a lot of enemies that fucking kill you gruesomely. 4 was still had enough. 4 wasn't the end of the series. It was that it was poorly followed up on. Okay, that's how I personally see it. I mean, I wish I could agree with you, Reva, but I don't think 4 sucked. I just think it wasn't, like I said, Mikami didn't work on it. It wasn't followed up properly and stuff. It wasn't. They started turning it more and more to an action game, whereas RE4 had more of, it had action and horror, like a good balance of it. It did, because in 4 you were still able, you were able to shoot an enemy or set them up for a melee attack, but 5 went even further with it. 6 went even beyond what 5 went with it, instead of doing, oh yeah, the fucking, yeah, see? Hey, what's going on, Kareem? The regenerators, see, it had the enemies like that. It had those, the combing, those fucking, those dogs, the tentacles on their back. It had the fucking chainsaw maidens. It had, 4 had villains that will fucking murder you. 5 didn't feel that. 5 had some villains, but it didn't feel nowhere as tense as Resident Evil 4 did. They were more action based, so you felt like you can get out of situations easier in 5 and 6, whereas 4, you get fucked up. You like pretty much. It was like less of that as it went on, and more like spectacle. Right, let's see. See, a lot of people like RE4 a lot. RE4 breathed, and what were the fans complaining about? These damn bugs in here. On the fan, a lot of the fans, a lot of critics was like, the series needs to be reinvented. It's the same thing over and over again. You know, even though despite Code Veronica breathing a little bit of life back into the series with its new all 3D angle. It was all 3D. It had a combination of the camera panning with you at times, but then you had you still had the fixed angles. It was an all 3D environment. It wasn't easy either. Code Veronica was probably one of the more difficult Resident Evil games, according to a lot of people. But 5 was ass, but I haven't played 4 in ages. I mean, 5 wasn't as good as 4, but yo, when you played with a fucking friend, you had fun. Like, especially the mercenaries mode. It had, see, that's the thing that kept 5 and 6 in contention with being, well, and they sold well. Like, 5 sold better than 6, of course. 5 sold really well. Lost in Nightmares was a good expansion that you could play with a friend. With Leon, you with Chris and Jill. That was good. That was a good addition to it. Mercenaries, 2-player Mercenaries was fun. That's what do you think kept RE6 floating for long? It wasn't just campaign mode, because people had problems with campaign mode. It was just crazy. Just too much. Where Simmons kept mutating into a T-Rex, to a fly. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? But when you play Mercenaries with a friend, my dog over there snoring. Dog's having nightmares. He's howling and barking in his sleep. Check it out. Oh, he quiet now. Okay. Alright, he quiet now. Sorry about that, because my dog was going off. Alright. But yeah, I've noticed with Resident Evil, back on subject, I've noticed with Resident Evil, a lot of people come in and have different opinions about the second trilogy, 4, 5, and 6. Some people love it. Some people love only like 4. Some people, everybody seems to collectively hate 6, but some people like 5 a lot too. So it's just different like opinions on having 1, 2, and 3. I don't really hear anybody. And 1, I said original trilogy. Yeah, because Code Veronica is still an essential part of the trilogy, but because of the whole thing with Sony back in the day, it couldn't be numerical. We all know the original RE3 isn't meant to be. It was meant to be a side story, but you know how Sony had the deal working out. I like the story. Yeah, 5 story wise, yeah, it was good. But as for gameplay, I thought it was okay. It wasn't as the shoot. It wasn't as tight as RE4 when it comes to controls. It wasn't as tight. I think 4 had better controls to it. Let's be did on. A lot of people was asking for that, but they seem like they're gonna start going. They're gonna probably go with the 4 remake. Did I get them? No, I didn't get them. Looks like they're gonna go with the 4 remake. Possibly. We don't even know. Let's see. Okay. You said which one? No? You said the Dario Rosso one and Brad Vickers? Where are those at? You'd be surprised. You know? I'm looking for that video, but you'd be surprised, Kareem. A lot of people, you might not want the RE4 remake, but with the RE engine, yeah, Las Plagas with the RE engine, that might, a lot of people will be looking, they really gonna be like, oh, all right. Nick Apostolidis. I like watching. I've been enjoying Nicole Tompkins videos that she been doing when she plays, like the RE2 videos she been doing with the remake, when she plays with the voice actors there. She did it a multiple part one with Nick Apostolidis, dressed as Leon, watching her play, and each time she died, he had to eat an Oreo cookie. And then she did. Now she's working with Stephanie Panicello, playing through Claire's game. And then she's even interviewed with Zasha Satova. They've been together. The voice and the face of Jill been together. Nicole Tompkins, she's been really doing like you want to talk about the fan base and being with, like, connected to him. Nick, Stephanie, and Nicole have been really connected to the fan base. And you can say what you want about the remakes, but the actors really love the game and they love the community, and this is why these games are beloved. That's another reason why. We said in between. It's right next to the RE4 remake and the Paul Haddad video. Okay. Oh, I see it. Sorry.
The scene starts off with Jill Valentine, waking up in her apartment. It's night, and rain is seen and heard from outside. Jill walks into the bathroom and looks at herself in the mirror. The scene cuts to a flashback of Jill and Stars, where we see the previous events that took place in the Arklay Mountains during the Spencer Mansion incident. The scene cuts back to Jill looking at her reflection. Her nose starts to bleed, and Jill slowly turns into a zombie. Jill grabs a gun sitting on her bathroom sink, points the gun at her head, and pulls the trigger. The screen goes black. Jill wakes up from her nightmare that just happened. Jill goes back to the bathroom and stares at herself in the mirror once again, realizing she is fine, but Jill is suffering from PTSD from the Spencer Mansion incident. We then hear the phone ring. Jill walks over to her phone and answers it. It's Brad Vickers, sounding panicked, and tells Jill to leave her apartment. Soon after, Nemesis breaks through the wall in Jill's apartment and chases Jill down. Jill Valentine escapes her apartment from Nemesis. After escaping her apartment, Jill Valentine then ends up in an alleyway where she meets up with Brad Vickers in Raccoon City. Jill and Brad walk through the streets of Raccoon City, talking about what happened back in the Arklay Mountains, while chaos and destruction happens around them. While this happens, a horde of zombies is seen breaking through a barricade. We see Jill and Brad run inside Bar Blackjack's. Jill and Brad barricade the door. Brad tells Jill to leave him and make a run for it. Jill tells Brad, "I'm not leaving you behind." Brad then tells Jill, "Trust me on this. After all, we're a team, right?" Jill looks at Brad and says, "Always." Brad forces Jill to leave. Jill escapes through the back door of Bar Blackjack's, leaving Brad behind. After escaping Bar Blackjack's, we then later see Jill escaping through an alleyway, avoiding and crawling under falling debris. While running through Raccoon City, Jill ends up in a warehouse where she meets up with the character Dario Rosso. Jill tells Dario that everything is alright and that she is a police officer and is there to help him. While looking panicked, Dario then tells Jill that he lost his wife and daughter and witnessed them being brutally murdered. We then cut to a flashback where we see Dario Rosso with his wife and daughter running through the streets in Raccoon City. They then reach an alleyway where they witness another zombie eating and tearing apart another human being. Dario screams, drawing more zombies' attention. Dario then runs away, while his wife and daughter are behind him. His wife then falls down, spraining her ankle while her daughter tries to help her up, but it's not enough to save her mother. Dario's daughter calls out to him, begging Dario to help them, but Dario becomes too frightened to save his wife and daughter. Dario then escapes by locking the door behind him, leaving his wife and daughter behind, His daughter then cries out for Dario to save them, but Dario continues to run away. Then Dario covers his ears from hearing the last words coming from his wife and daughter, while they slowly get eaten alive by the horde of zombies. The scene cuts back to present time. Dario then tells Jill that he is not going outside, and that he'd rather starve to death than be eaten by one of the undead monsters. He then tells Joe Valentine to leave him alone. Dario then hides in a crate and refuses to leave, only to never be seen again, forcing Jill to leave the warehouse and Dario behind. Jill ends up in a parking lot later on, where we see an injured Brad Vickers meeting up with Joe Valentine. We then see Nemesis appear from out of the shadows in the distance. Brad tells Joe to run. Joe looks back at Brad confused and says, "Brad, what are you talking about?" Brad Vickers looks back at Jill and says, "Jill, are we still a team?" Jill then responds, "Always." Brad looks at Jill one final time and tells her, "Then trust me on this. You need to get out of here. I'll buy you some time, but you need to run." Brad then gets into a car, starts the engine, looks at Nemesis and says, "Die, you son of a bitch." Brad then drives straight into Nemesis, running him over. Joe watches in the distance. Soon after, the car then ends up flipping over. We see Nemesis get up shortly after being run down by Brad. Nemesis goes over to the car, rips the door open, grabs Brad and pulls him out. We see Brad in Nemesis's grasp. While this happens, we see Joe Valentine witnessing the horror in the distance. While in Nemesis's grasp, Brad yells out to Jill, telling her to run. Nemesis stabs Brad in the chest with his tentacle, killing him instantly. Jill then screams Brad's name as she's witnessing Brad's death. Jill looks in shock and breaks down in tears. We then see Nemesis throw Brad's body off to the side. Nemesis turns and sees Jill in the distance. Nemesis says the stars line as he looks at Jill. Jill looks back at Nemesis, frightened. Jill then starts to panic. Jill then runs off, while Nemesis chases after her.
You know what? That's a pretty decent take of how it could have happened in the remake. You know, making Brad a little bit more heroic because they were trying to redeem him instead of him getting bit so quick early into the game. But yeah, that would have been a good. That's a good alternate take on it, man. Like I can't even find any flaw in it. That's pretty deep. That's good. Like I'm really trying to pick it apart. No, that could have. If that would have happened, I would have been fine with that too. I would have been fine with that too. With the fact that a lot of people thought it was weird that Brad was able to say sorry to Marvin and catch him off guard. But if you harken back to Resident Evil 1 and the Keeper's Diary, when he was itchy tasty, he was actually writing as a zombie as he was turning and stuff. So it's possible. It's just like the longer you're a zombie, the more your functions diminish. And Brad was freshly bitten and he was freshly infected originally by Nemesis. Why you think his zombie is so hard to be killed? Well, I don't know what was going on. Like, but in the RE2 remake, how they made it as is, he was like very hard to take down, even in that one. And even with in certain modes, in Carlos, when you go to the RPD, even when you take him down, he pops back up again, and you see him later on as he's a zombie still. So it was crazy how they made Brad in that one. Oh, you're welcome, man. You're welcome. But back to the subject of RE4 getting a remake. I don't think it's likely until they confirm it, but I don't think it's happening until they confirm it, but it's extremely likely. RE4 is very very popular. It's very popular, and I wouldn't be surprised. Hell, Village is probably the test run to RE4 being done. This is how I see they're gonna do it. They are not gonna. I mean, they realized that the RE2 remake was successful. Hell, the Resident Evil 3 remake was successful, and they're not gonna leave money on the table. They're gonna milk the franchise as dry. They're gonna suck it dry. We know they are. We know they are. So, let me see something. Let me interact with the background. This, go back to YouTube. All right, let's go to. All right. And there we go. I ain't hear this in a long time. I'm still laughing at the story of this fucking, how this came to be. How the composer faked having being deaf. Tell me this doesn't strike fear into your heart when you enter a basement in a house full of zombies. Tell me it doesn't. I'll wait. Everybody like, oh no. Reba already knew basement. He saw what I was typing there. That's just horrible. That's just terrible. This was one of my favorite ever. This right here was. I actually put it in the background when I did the video talking about Paul Haddad dying. I actually took that and actually played it. I actually did that. This was amazing. This was one of the best ones. It was simple, piano. That right there was one of the best. He said, God damn it, with the basement music, yeah. I mean, that actually made it into a fucking Resident Evil Director's Cut game. And you know what? I would have loved if there was somebody, a Resident Evil character in the remake, who had a cell phone, and for a running joke, that was the fucking, the ringtone. I mean, come on, look at the Final Fantasy Advent Children. When you was the character that Tifa was fighting, his phone, his ringtone was the victory fanfare. His phone kept ringing that. It would have been perfect. But after that plays when you defeat Resident Evil 2, the original version. That right there. Yeah, you know, I gotta find that because I'm gonna put that as my ringtone. That bang. I'm gonna put that as a ringtone. And I remember this shot here when you beat the game is clear. With her on the motorcycle with Sherry. But we all know that didn't come to fruition. She left Leon with she left Sherry with Leon, and Leon and Sherry ended up getting picked up by the authorities, and they blackmailed Leon into becoming, to protect Leon, to protect Sherry. He became a government agent, but they kept her on close task because you know, she had the G virus in her, and even though she was given a serum, the G virus adapted, and now she's like fucking Wolverine. That and Resident Evil 6, when that fucking piece of debris went through her and Jake pulled it out and she healed, he was like, what the hell was that? He's like, you sure they need my blood? She's like, oh, they tried too many times. They tried, but she didn't have a cure. Because now you understood why Jake had it, because he had the DNA of a Wesker child. And Wesker is an experiment himself. Him and Alex are experiments. That's why he has this immunity, all these different viruses. That's why, yeah, so it's crazy. It's funny that the children, both Wesker and Birkin's children, are cleaning up their father's messes. Ain't that some shit? I think that was the whole thing. That was the whole irony of the story, that the sins of the father did not reflect on the it did not become the sins of the child. They were actually going in the other direction. I mean, hell, but I've seen it before in House of the Dead 3. Curian, the man who created the pandemic that you had to fight for in House of the Dead, the light game House of the Dead 3, his son that he made the cure for, that he made this for to help his son, came and fought with you with Rogan. Thomas Rogan, the main character for House of the Dead 1, his daughter was one of the protagonists of House of the Dead 3, and then Curian, who was the bad guy, the antagonist of House of the Dead 1, their children worked together to take down this new threat based on their based on his father's thing. So yeah, I've seen it before to a degree. You know, speaking of franchises that did bad, as you know, that had piss poor movie adaptations, let's not forget, people who talk about Resident Evil, no, let's not forget about House of the Dead. Ugh, what the fuck was that? Jesus Christ, that was horrible. That was some Yui Bowl shit right there. You know? Horrible. You know, everybody always want to bring up Resident Evil, but I would rather watch Resident Evil than watch House of the Dead. I'm sorry. You want me to pick a lesser of two evils? Woo! House of the Dead was god awful. Terrible. It was. I don't know, man. I really don't know. But we was talking about consoles earlier. Was anybody able to pick up a pre-order on their PS5 or their Series X, whatever you're into, you know? I don't promote like, oh, get this one, get that, you know me. So, was anybody able to procure a pre-order? Because those Microsoft sold out in like 14 fucking minutes, bro. And Sony sold out in a little bit more than that, maybe 15, 16. They both sold out. It's to be expected with new consoles. At least they, you know, at least they're gonna be in the Nintendo count. I mean, you don't pre-order. Yeah, I want Series X and the PS4. I'm a fucking collector, as you can see. I got my PS3 right here, my 360 right here. I got my Xbox One original 500 gig over there. I got my One X near my bed. I got my PS4 Pro near my bed. I got my original PS4 right here. Then I got my Sega Saturn, my original Xbox, my Sega Genesis. You know that. My Japanese Saturn somewhere right here, next to my Xbox One. If I buy a console, I'll wait their games. Yes, that's what I'm gonna wait for more than anything. Until this games that's available. And when you know what? I resent the fact that when I say that about PlayStation, the fucking fanboys go ape shit. But when I say about Xbox, oh yeah, you know, there's nothing on there to play. Like, I'm like, come on, man, we grown ass adults. You can have a preference. I'm totally fine with you having a preference of console to play on. But stop, like, we are at this point where we're grown folks. Stop shitting on somebody's preference because it doesn't fit yours, y'all. There's a lot more shit going on in the world, and you are going over your you are fighting like a mad dog over your opinion over which box of wires and transistors you worship over the other. It makes no sense to me. It doesn't. And I'm surprised, Kareem, that after the stumbling out of the gate that they did with the Xbox One, that the Series X is having so much positive response to it, because Microsoft realized they fucked up. And when they realized they fucked up, they just like, they came at it with a different way. Sony's coming at it at their way. Sony believes that bloated budget AAA games with cinematic quality, which you will probably only play through once, twice maybe, are the way to go. Sean Layden, the man who used to be the CEO of PlayStation, said during the show, when he was still employed with PlayStation and Sony, that this is our thing. This is cinematic games are our wheelhouse. But he left PlayStation. I don't know if he got fired, maybe because he didn't believe in it. But when he left, he said, look, AAA games with these high budgets aren't sustainable for the future. And why I'm saying that, even though I liked a lot of them, you know why I bring this up? Is because this is the way they're going. But Microsoft found a way to have a sustainable future, and that is with Game Pass. It does. I was just playing, I kid you not, this is my tablet right here. This is a Galaxy tablet right here that I got my service. I was playing this on, you seen the video. I was playing this at work with a PlayStation controller, y'all. The fucking PlayStation, I mean with the Xbox controller. The regular one I use on my console, you connect it to this with Bluetooth. I was playing Streets of Rage, I was playing Gears of War 5 and stuff like that. Through that. So this is what they found that works for them. Having Game Pass, being able to play it on the console, play it streaming. You don't have to be in Wi-Fi, y'all. Now, I'm not saying you're going to have this crisp and clear connection, but you don't have to be, ESPN notification. You don't have to be in Wi-Fi to play this. When I want to stream to play my my PlayStation through remote play, I have to be in Wi-Fi. When I was sitting at the Prudential Center yesterday, the stadium where the Devils play at, because I work there too sometimes and doing temperature checks for people, for employees, I couldn't play I couldn't remote play because the Wi-Fi doesn't work there. But I can play in 4G with Game Pass streaming, which is free with Game Pass Ultimate. This is what they found that works for them. They found a program that they keep feeding. And now that they bought Bethesda, they're going to have a lot of games to offer for that. This is about bolstering that. And a lot of people, like I had one guy who comes here all the time. He's the biggest Sony pony. Like, he ain't the biggest, but he's a really, when it comes to being a Sony chode smoker, forget it. Absolute MMA probably takes the cake. So anyway, my friend got pictures of him and other people comment saying, "Oh, the Xbox the Xbox Series X launch is gonna be trash," and I'm like, what's so special about the PlayStation 5 launch besides Miles Morales and Demon Souls, which, you know, a lot of people claim that they're gonna play, but the game is too hard for most gamers. I mean, I don't even fuck with the Soul series because I already lost enough of my hair. I'm done. No. It's not the future of gaming, but it's a fucking, people, convenience sells, man. Convenience sells. This is what's going on now. People, the digital, especially in the pandemic, did Microsoft predict this shit? Really? In the pandemic, did they really predict the fact that people were already going in a direction that they don't want to go to stores? The pandemic has really accelerated that aspect. The digital age is here. Why do you think PlayStation has an all digital version? Why do you think the Series S is all digital? Why do you think they tried to bring out the Xbox One SAD? The Xbox One S all digital. This is where they pushing it. They know this is what's coming. So Game Pass accommodates that. Why do you think the streaming, the cloud gaming is important? Because they need to compete with Nintendo as well. They do. And guess what? Like I brought up before, you can't play Mortal Kombat 11 on the Nintendo Switch unless you have Wi-Fi. You can't play the game because you have to constantly be in internet connection to have full access to Mortal Kombat 11 campaign mode or story mode, because the game, Nintendo Switch, cannot handle the whole thing graphically. You have to be in constant connection to do that. This is why this may not, the streaming playing on the cloud might not be the future, but it's a lot more reliable than trying to do remote play on PlayStation 4 and trying to play on the go with the Switch. Multiplayer. It's just not good. This is what it gives you, a better option of that. So that's why. So of a PS3 game that nobody bought. Yep. I mean, I was looking at the wrestler Adam Cole from NXT. Adam Cole, baby, that dude. He beat Bloodborne and Demon Souls 1, 2, and 3. He said he never played Demon. He beat Bloodborne, and he beat what's the game? The other Souls games. What's the Soul series? Not Demon Souls. You know which one I'm talking about. He beat all 3 of those and Bloodborne. But he said he never got to play this one because it was only on PS3 and he wasn't playing PS3. He had his Xbox 360. So, yeah, nobody bought the game. I believe you on that one. You know? Yeah, Dark Souls. I'm sorry. He beat all 3 Dark Souls games and Bloodborne. And he was like, he never got the Demon Souls because it was only out. You know, it looks good. It does look good. But if it ain't your cup of tea, it ain't your cup of tea. You know? We'll see how it does. But it's coming into PC. You know it is. You know that, right? They was like, oh, that was a mistake. That wasn't a mistake. That was not a mistake. A lot of people gotta understand it. Like my friend that was just here earlier, Spook, who sat by the door, Powell, he said it. The age of exclusives is coming to a fucking end. Sony is still trying to buy up all these third-party exclusives, but Microsoft was like, yo, you made $6 billion profit in 1 year, PlayStation. They spent a quarter, they spent 1.25 more than what Sony made out of profit on PlayStation to buy multiple companies in one fell swoop. They're playing on a different game of chess, and they only trying to bolster up Game Pass. People like, oh, it's just all about, they ain't got no exclusives, that's why I do that. They about Game Pass. Game Pass is making no money. It's a different ball game they're playing. And they lied, yo. Jim Ryan lied. And people, for months, the fanboys, the ponies went nuts talking about, oh, it's going to be You know, it's going to be, Sony believes in generations. You know, look at Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite looks like trash because it's it's cross-platform. Cross-platform is going to hold it back. Blah, blah, blah. Look how ugly this good. Look, Miles Morales is a PS5 exclusive for Horizon Forbidden West. PS5 exclusive. Sackboy. This, blah, blah, blah. And guess what? They're all going to be, those three are going to be available on PS4, which I'm getting on my Pro. Fuck that. Miles Morales, I will be buying that on my Pro. Why? Because why spend $500 for it? That's one of the only few games to initially get. You're going to have about 5 or 6. You're going to have of games that you could only find on PlayStation consoles. You only got Miles Morales, Sackboy, Astro's Playground, and Demon Souls. And 3 out of those 4, I mean, like Sackboy and Miles Morales, you can get on the PlayStation. I don't even care about Sackboy. I'm just saying it because it's cross-platform as well. So all that shit they was talking about with cross-platform, they doing too. And then, remember the whole thing about backwards compatibility? It's going to be to the extent of what? PlayStation 4? They said we've tested out it and about 90-something% of the games work on that one. I'm thinking, how many games did you test out? That's an interesting point somebody brought up before. Oh, that did exactly, Reva. How did that turn out? It's only going to go back as far as 4. And that's not going to be the full set. Because 3 years ago, Jim Ryan said this. Nobody really cares about backwards compatibility. This is why he told me why he never put it in PlayStation 4. He's like, these games look dated. Blah, blah, blah. Jim Ryan's a fucking graphics whore. I thought you cared about the legacy of the games. A lot of people, this is how you treat your fans, huh? This is how you treat fans of your PlayStation library. These dated, nobody wants to play them. But then you turn around and instead of making it backwards compatible, you turn around and you make an enhanced version of Shadow of Colossus and sells it for $40 fucking dollars. But nobody likes to play old games. Unless it looks a little bit better, right? Fuck out of here, man. I'm like, come on now. Like, this is what I don't understand. This is my problem. Like, I don't have a problem with Sony being a fan of PlayStation. As you can see, my library behind this curtain showed you guys that. I have a problem with the fanboys who are just blind as fuck, who want you to just believe it's Sony only. And I'm like, I can't do that. I can't. Now, you can have a preference, but stop forcing your preference on people. I'm multi-console and stuff. And yeah, I would say multi-console is the way to go if you're a gamer. But you don't have to listen to me. Who the fuck am I? I'm not Jesus. Nobody listens to Jesus anyway. He's supposed to be coming back like a thief in the night. And where the fuck he's been? Exactly. Thank you, Reva. If nobody cares about classic games, stop putting paint jobs on them and selling them again. You see the bullshit in this? You see that? This is what I'm talking about. Like, this is my problem with Sony fans. They, you know. Now, this guy here, Edgar Manjares, asked me which side I think got better games. I'm like, no, I like games from him because he's saying, I'll show you guys. He made a comment on one of my videos, and I told him it's opinion. He said that Sony having better games is not subjective, it's fact. Because I said in the video, people thinking Sony have better exclusives is subjective. Because Sony fans are going to think their first party games are the best. Nintendo fans are going to think their first party games are the best. Microsoft fans are going to think their first party games are the best. It's subjective. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying it's subjective. You know? So he said this. He said that. He said Sony having better games is not subjective, it's fact. So I say to him, no, it's opinion. Every fanboy thinks the same of their consoles, and every they think the same of their games. And he said, "What's I think?" I said, honestly, I like some of everything from all three. Let me put that. I have. Collector and gamer. I'm gonna fuck that. All right, I answered that. All right, cool. Why are people mad about Spider-Man Remaster not being free for current owners? You know why they mad about that? Because Microsoft, remember, like Review Tech USA just made a video about this hours ago. It's like this. Microsoft has smart delivery, Kareem. I think you know about that, right? Where if you buy a game currently for Xbox One, you will get a free graphical upgrade when you will get a free graphical upgrade when you run it on Series X. Let's say, for example, I have Game Pass. Like, yeah, I got Game Pass right now, and I downloaded what game? Let's say Halo Infinite did come out right now. It came out. Let's say the Xbox One version came out, and then the Series X enhanced version wouldn't be out until next year, right? When that comes out, when I got Series X, I will get a smart delivery update. You know. So now they telling you because you the only way you're gonna get Spider-Man Miles Morales with the enhanced version of Spider-Man is buying a special edition on the PS5. Because if you buy the special edition that comes on a PS4 bundled with Spider-Man, you're gonna have to pay to update. You have to pay a higher amount. It's weird how to think about it. I would run Review Tech USA's video about it, but I don't want to get copyright thing by him. So it's weird how they doing it. Like they it's all because Microsoft has a smart delivery system, where you buy a first party game or you download it through Game Pass, you will get you will have it free update with no problems. Like you will. It's just a little annoying fruit fly in here that just been bothering me. And I've been missing him because he's so small. So that's what's going on right now. That's really what's happening right now. That a lot of people just felt like, if I'm buying it, if it's your first party game and I'm buying it on PS4, then I eventually update to PS5 for the same game that's out simultaneously. Why do I have to pay an extra $10 for it? Like for that. Like for you got a $60 PS4 version, and then you have a $10 more version. And a lot of people feel like, no, you should support your game. So this is why Microsoft's gonna cream them when it comes to services. They're gonna you say you want to share this link? Maybe I'll go through. I'll see. Microsoft's gonna cream them when it comes to services because of something like this. Like, people want to be able, and this is why Microsoft remained for the next 2 years. They're gonna be cross-platform because they want to make sure they actually They want to make sure that they actually transition you into their new hardware. They don't want to leave the Xbox One people behind. They give you a couple of while. That's why they doing cross-platform, because they don't want to leave you in the dark and make you feel like you're going to abandon their service, because they selling the service. The consoles are just the vessel. The heart of what Microsoft is going after is making sure you got service subscribers. So they want to make sure they eventually not leave you behind and give you time to catch up. Them 2 years. Look, we still supporting you. We still supporting you. We told you you got 2 years until it's only Series S and X. So we're gonna give you time. This is what they're doing. Whereas PlayStation like had this whole impression that had it feel like we're gonna give you the five, we're gonna give you PS5, and we believe in generations. We're not gonna hold you back with cross-platform, and now they doing cross-platform. Because they said, we never said that, but you never shut the fans up for running their fucking mouths, did you? You didn't. It's an image of a poll from IGN. Oh, yes. I don't know what the poll said. Alright, so he asked me something, and I said, as someone who plays or three, I have to tell them, PlayStation had more this generation, but they like replay value. Now, who here in the comment section? Yo, Joey, what's going on? You missed, like an hour and a half of it. So, who here by a show of hands can agree that, or they feel that the PlayStation 4 releases this generation, the exclusives, were, for the most part, very good games, but they have lacked replay value? I mean, I personally feel like a lot of them, yeah, you agree. Like, who else think like you don't even own the PS4? Oh, Kareem, what do you own if you don't mind me telling you? I mean, if you don't mind me asking you, what do you own? I own, I already stated I owned a few things. Some people really, really, really want you to agree with them, and they get mad if you don't. I'm trying to keep it simple because I just want. Let's see if I can find something. Let's go to interact, and let's go to. Let's see. We said I'd rather choose PS3 over PS4 mainly because of how I'm able to play PS1 and PS2 titles. Yeah, I still got my jalopy over here that still does that. I got the big fat body one. And they decided to remove that. That's right there was like an ultimate slap in the face to PlayStation fans, man. Removing that. Ultimate. Let me see something. Let's go to videos. Come on. See, this was me, a video I put up earlier. This was demonstrating at at the Prudential Center, me playing on just regular regular 4G connection. It might not be the smoothest, but for the most part it runs solid.
Reporting some live somewhere from work. This is going on. As you can see, that's my Android tablet. This is my Xbox controller, the same one I'm using at home. And this is on phone connection, so you're gonna get some hiccups, but you're gonna go up the story.
Because, yo, Joey, Jim Ryan don't fucking care about PS2 games. He said 3 years ago, nobody wants to play them old games, they look dated.
This is the type of stuff that, let's skip this. This is what's going on. On phone. This is not Wi-Fi. This is my regular connection. As you can see.
Yeah. See, that was that video to demonstrate that it works. It's solid. Now, let's go here, back to my channel. And here's my Resident Evil Village video that I did that got somebody in their feelings. I got somebody in their feelings over there. You know, I could tell you a lot of PS fanboys online who make who make all this hoo-ha and all this stuff and be militant. A lot of them just started playing games yesterday, technically. So they don't have no respect for legacy and stuff like that. These are the same people who told me that they can't play the old Resident Evil because of the static angles. I'm like, are you fucking joking? Like, literally. But this was the video that pissed off. I don't know why. I don't know why it pissed off Resident Evil people, but let me put it back to the
truck driver
beginning.
hit was basically.
Come on, go back.
KazamaFury.
And I have to bring back this old thumbnail I used in the older video about Resident Evil Village, because I'm sorry. After the PlayStation showcase today and me seeing the new trailer, I am not impressed by this game still. They should have just made this game a new intellectual property. I mean, it might turn out to be a great game, but as Resident Evil, no. Resident Evil is dead, y'all. And people want to complain about the damn remakes. Well, at least they were retelling of a story modernized that we played through decades ago. But this right here, with possible vampires, freaking wolf-like creatures, Chris being voiced by the guy who did the voice of Carlos, got a new face all of a sudden because people complained about Redfield in RE7, and I'm like, oh my God. Oh man, I mean, let's not forget that zombie at the beginning of RE2 remake that the truck driver hit was basically Mia's model from RE7. So you really are upset? You know, Scorpion was right. Scorpion, his name is. They're going to probably reuse the assets of this game for the Resident Evil 4 remake. So expect a lot more of this shit. Anyway, yo, I can't. Like, this game looks like absolute dog shit from Resident Evil perspective. As from a graphical standpoint, the game looks beautiful. But I guess that's enough for people. A pretty package of a game. Oh, it looks frightening. It's that. I'm like I said earlier in the video, the game might turn out to be great. But as where Resident Evil going for in the creative standpoint is where I say this game is absolute dog shit. All right. Resident Evil has been a franchise that's always been grounded
You said being
in
selfish.
science and biological catastrophes due to experimentation with life itself. And I'm looking to myself like, Kareem, Kazama, whatever, you know my name. Do you really want to play through this game? You did not enjoy RE7, and this looks like more of the same. This is like, you know what? This makes me feel like RE2 and 3 remakes were just to shut up the fan base that demanded these remakes. You guys shouldn't have opened that shirt and said, we do it. But then with RE3, I guess they wanted to tell their own story. Okay, they look like they're remaking the whole goddamn franchise in a modernized way for these new players, which I really don't have a problem with. But first person Resident Evil, no, I'm good with this one. You know, stick to what made you popular. Okay, I know it was the static angles at first. That's not the issue. You really did well with the over-the-shoulder thing when it came to playing RE4, RE5, but 6 was ugh. And then the remakes, you made over-the-shoulder look terrified when the zombies bite you and it goes up, the camera goes close, and things like this. Little details you did, you made that camera your own. But first-person Resident Evil, nah. Especially with enemies attacking this way. I mean, like, the thing with Resident Evil is that you got to see your character meet their grisly fate. Are you gonna do that with RE8? Or you gonna change it for 7 where you remember it's 7? Or you hear his ear go, ah! And then you're like, you're dead. And I'm like, this is like, no, I'm good. Like, I'm so good with this. Like, I don't even want to be bothered with this. Because I'm a fury, I'm out. Peace.
Yeah, I mean, that, you know, I had to speak my mind. I know. Thank Capcom for giving you a mediocre experience. Oh man. Yeah, I said it wasn't impressive. In the comment section, let's see what's going on in the comment section. That hip, cool. This one guy said right here, and you call Resident Evil 4 Resident Evil. Yeah, look at this ass clown. You call Resident Evil 4 a Resident Evil game? Shaking my head. And I said to him, it reinvented the series but kept the core story at Umbrella, which is what it always been. Not this werewolves, vampire, folklore BS that we are getting this psychic mode mutants. I mean, that's what we got. Like, people forget Evelyn is a lab experiment and turns to an old lady that can put mold in you, that can turn a man into a fucking damn near indestructible killing machine. Then he turns into a giant eyeball monster. Then he turns to Swamp Thing. And then his wife had fucking spiders and bees coming out her pussy. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? Like, what the fuck is this? That Dominic person is so stupid. You said what person? Oh, you seen him before? All right. Oh yeah, let me show y'all some more shit that you want to talk about. Let's see. Hold on. Let's go to the comment sections. Right here.
KazamaFury.
Let's go here to this comment section. You can count on absolute. I'm sorry. I try not to do this, but yo, every time I talk about Sony, it's the same thing. Yeah, I said, what's coming out like on PS5? That's not on PS4. And Gamester, I love Gamester. Here we go. Right here. It's like, look at how many comments. I just keep it civil. I do. I've got nothing really bad to say. I'm just saying, like, your bias just shows. You wear your bias on your sleeve. But are those, you see what I said right here, look, are exclusive to PlayStation 5, like, but are they, is one on launch day worth buying a console on launch day? Please tell me. I love Gamester, yo. And he comes, yeah. We support each other on here. We smaller channels and we don't tap dance for fucking subs, man. We don't. I ain't tap dancing for no goddamn sub. I'm not tap dancing for no sub. Not at all. Cause some people will love you. Some people will love you and then they hate your guts. When you don't say what they want to say. Hold on. And I'm just, you know, you said with a corporate slave. Oh, yeah, shill. And you see what Gamester said to him? He tried to call Gamester a crybaby, and Gamester was like, I'm not crying. If anything, can you count to my points if you like? I'm still waiting. I'm sorry. I thought the reaction, speaking of Last of Us 2, the reaction to that shit was legendary. It really was like legendary how people started all of a sudden trying to debunk Abby's muscles, and then people were talking about they were offended over, oh my God, how you saw that terrible sex scene? I was like, you guys are really obsessed over that. You know, her body was built after, is modeled after an actual woman body, who's a body, I forgot the woman's name, she's blonde though. And then women start posting themselves who train just like her. And you see that she's in Seattle and she's in the fucking gym and they got source of food. They tell you everything in the goddamn game. And you know, I mean, he didn't even like, where's your rebuttal? But every time I got criticism and I got smoke from Microsoft, oh, he's there. Like, well, I'm glad you did a video on this. It's like how the people it's like how the All Lives Matter people want to come and side with you when you say something that coincides with what they've been trying to say about black people. When you're a black person and you're critical about black people, you got, you know, see, that's what I'm talking about. I like this guy. He's a good old boy. That's what they used to do to fucking Amazing Lucas, who's another one who had a fucking meltdown over the Bethesda purchase. Like a typical son. Oh my God. His video got downvoted so much because he was acting like a straight bitch in that video. He said she was modeled after a man. I forgot the female's name that she's modeled after. I'll show you. Yeah, a lot of people say that now. She's modeled after a buff female. Let me find her name. Let's see if I can find it. I mean, they're using our face models. Why not use a body model? Let me see something. I'm trying to think who's start now. Let me see what's her name. I found it. Let me go back. Images. Let's go to visit. Her name. She's 5'8" and weigh 170 pounds. I'm a skinny dude and I weigh 190 pounds about, soaking wet. This woman is buff and weighs 170. And she's 4 inches shorter than I am. Now I gotta find it. Hold on. Colleen Fosh is her name. Colleen Fosh. This woman here is the one who did the body, whose body is scanned for Abby. That's her right there. Let me go back to Safari and see if I can find more of it. Yes, this woman here who competes. That woman there is what Abby's body is. She's the body double. You know, oh God, he looked like he smelled like cat piss and Doritos. I can't fucking stand the Quarter, I can't stand Geeks and Gamers. I can't stand Yellow Flash because they just do nothing but incel bait. They don't even believe half of the shit they be saying, if not most of it. They only do that because incels pander to them. And I'm like, bruh, hey, Surreal Matrix, how you doing? Like, you actually have people that pander to them. Really. But, you know, speaking of incels, you know, and where I come from, there's a lot of black, like my boy Kid Organic that I listen to all the time put out a video which is very interesting, and it's true that we have a lot of black female incels. Yes, a lot of them, and they the ones that I would avoid dating. And I'm like, yo, yes, and you named it, all the several anti-SJWs. Oh yeah, I can't forget Young Ripper. Oh, I can't stand that nigga. Oh, I'm sorry. I can't stand his ass. He tried to sit there and he was like, yeah, and I'm gonna keep talking about the last stuff too because people talking about I'm gonna milk this cow dry. Yo, Young Ripper gets on my fucking incels, and then it started out as it's a involuntary celibate person. Involuntary, the I-N, celibate, the C-E-L. And a lot of these people, not all incels hate women, okay? Some are just involuntarily celibate, meaning like they ain't in a relationship, they not fucking right now. They not having sex with just random girls and having one night stands. They involuntarily celibate, meaning like, look, if I'm not in a relationship, I ain't having sex. But then there's some who are not in a relationship and they not having sex, and they don't blame themselves. They hate all women because women don't look at them. A lot of them don't have personalities. And I look at a lot of these incels, I'm like, yo, I'm like, you look like a normal, functional, intelligent man or young man, and you telling me you can't get a girl because you're probably a fucking weirdo who got some things about them. They got something weird about them that's awful. You just awkward. You're just awkward, and you can't interact with women. Not all of them are these fucking disgusting neckbeards that smell like bologna and chocolate milk. A lot of them just are awkward, and they don't know how to be around the opposite sex. They don't know how to carry a conversation with them. They don't have no self-confidence. And this is not me being a pickup artist, because I, for one, don't have the answers to females. A lot of them I don't trust as far as you can throw them, so I'm not trying to be. I have a girlfriend, y'all. I do have a girlfriend, you know. So I do have a girlfriend. The thing is that I still don't trust them as far as I can throw them, and I think that's a good mindset to keep. Like, you can't just be thinking, you guys. She can tell you until the cows come home, oh, I'm not like that. All women aren't like that. And I'm like, show me how different you are. You always, men, we always got this stigma that we always have to show improvement. We have to have ridiculous bank accounts. We have to have this. We have to have a rock hard penis that stays erect all night, which is impossible. You know, they ever said the average it's crazy. Women had these unrealistic expectations that we have. They want us to strive to achieve, but women, all they bring to the game is another man's kids. I'm sorry, my girlfriend has 2 kids. She was married before, so I can prove that and stuff. But I ain't take care of them. They 10 and 20. They have their own father. I ain't got to do nothing with them and stuff. I've only met them once. When they came, she brought them to see my dogs while they was inside the gate. That's about it. Okay? That's all they know of me as. They know I'm her boyfriend. They ain't like, oh, I want him to go and spend. No. One is 10, one is 20. They big enough. They don't need me. She don't need a dad. She just wants some pinga. And I'm giving her pinga, and I like her and she like me. Boom. There it is. Keep the kids out of this. Plain and simple. And a lot of them, like I was saying, back to incels, a lot of them they hate women because they can't get women. And I just have issues. I have trust issues with women because I know the women out there, a lot of them they don't have no character, y'all. It's not about, you can have, how can you say? You can look banging. You can be the flyest woman on the planet. But if you have a nasty attitude and you very difficult to get along with, you're not going to keep a man. All he gonna do is zoom, 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 and a boom, boom. Just shake your rump. Yeah, you know that song. Anyway, yeah, you can't keep a man like that. And a lot of guys don't understand. You can't keep a woman if you don't know how to talk to them. And I understand where a lot of them come from. A lot of these women have high expectations that are impossible. But you got to understand, as a man, you have to put your foot down eventually and have pride, a sense of pride. And yes, you ain't going to get every woman in the damn club. You're not going to get all these women to look your way. But you got to be strong enough to stand on your own and sit there and not be online and blame Brie Larson for the fact that you can't have a fucking female. Okay? And then a lot of these guys get desperate and they settle. Where I come from, a lot of them, you would think they got desperate and settled, but a lot of them don't got any standards. A lot of Negroes around here ain't got no goddamn standards. That's why this is why 4 out of 5 black women in America are either overweight and 50-something% of them are obese. Because guys tell them what they want to hear to get that ass. And yeah, I'm good. I'm good on that, y'all. Yeah, I'm so good on that. Who's worse, men or women? I gotta say, and I'm trying not to be biased because I'm a guy. I'm trying not to, but I did some soul searching on it. I have to say women. I mean, I've been to this conclusion, but I'm not the type that sit here and just blame all women. But when it comes down to who do the worst dirt, women. Women try to, like, case in point, look at the whole situation with Future. Future got all these kids and these baby mamas because he's an idiot and he don't know how to keep it in his pants. He don't know how to use protection. But then you have women who see this. They see a guy like Future, who's a fucking bum, but he's a bum with money. So they would make that sacrifice and get cummed in and get cream pied, thinking that they're gonna get a financial come up from him. This is the decisions. This is an example of the decisions that women make. So yeah, and then women are very good at cheating. Guys, we eventually get caught. Women will, and I've known one that she's not my friend anymore, but this bitch actually admitted to a friend of mine that she cheated on her boyfriend. She sucked another nigga's dick. Well, she sucked another dude's dick. And then she went home and kissed her boyfriend with that same mouth just because it made her feel like she had power. And I'm like, and this woman looks fucking gorgeous, but she's a cunt for doing that. She's a catch you. She's a see you next Tuesday if you get my drift. For doing that, y'all. She is. And she dead wrong for that. And a lot of women do stuff like that. A lot of them do. Like, if a guy, like what did Chris Rock say? God is as faithful as his options. But I think women take that to a next level. It is like a guy gotta fight to get female. Like a woman can walk outside and dudes trying to holler at them. She could be in fucking pajama pants with no drawers on, and her butt cheeks are just flapping as she walk, and some guy out there is trying to hit that because all he see is the big floppy ass. So, God, we walk outside, no chick like, damn, nigga, I wanna, you don't get that a lot. Does she have all the teeth in her mouth? Is she in shape? No. When a woman looks, when she's beautiful, like she got the pick of the litter. God, when he hits him, no, he don't. Now, if he got money, that's a different story. Because I've seen niggas who look like B.I.G. who got they eyes going in two different directions in business for each eyes in business for itself. But if you got money and you got the gift of gab, because some women you can talk to them a certain way, and they drop them drawers for you. You gotta have a swag. I gotta say that much. Black women fall for that shit more than anything. Why do you think Future got all those kids? You can have that gift of gab and have that swagger, and they like thugs. And I hate to make a blatant statement, but it's not a blanket statement when I say a lot of them do, like thugs. It's just that you give a lot of them, bro, give their women. A lot of women give their best years. A lot of sisters, a lot of women in general, but I'm going to speak from where I come from. A lot of sisters give their best years to the wrong type of man. And when they come out of that haze and they realize how they have wasted their time and their years, they done got kids, they done gained about 50-something fucking pounds. There's a lot of different things going on with them. And then they realize that they hit the wall. The wall is real, but they still think they can get the same type of women, and they deserve, and they can command it. They can command the same type of women. I mean, the same type of men that a woman who keeps her body right, who don't have kids, or she has maybe just one, and she's a divorcee, not a baby mother. There's a difference. They're gonna have the woman who don't have any kids and got her body right, and she got a banging personality. The world is hers when it comes to men. Now, the woman who is divorced, maybe has a child, still got a banging body because she keep herself fit, and she ain't about trying to get married. She has a better chance than the one who has a bunch of baby mamas and don't do anything to keep herself in shape. These be the same women taking angle shots on dating profiles and only showing you this amount of their face. You know? You said girls with big eyes and yeah, man. I'm sorry. I've been going off on this tangent about that. But when Kareem asked who's worse, women, I'm sorry. Like, women hold men accountable for all the bad decisions they make when it comes to dating. I'm like, nobody told you to fall for the okie doke. Like, now if I went up in a strip joint and I tried to make a wife out of a hoe and it blew up in my face, y'all gonna tell me, what the fuck are you doing, Kareem? What are you doing, nigga? What did you do? You really thought you could make a hoe into a housewife? And women don't have that same sense of danger when it comes to men. You can't make an honest man out of a fucking man whore. You can't. You just can't. It's not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. And you don't respond to ads but only angle shots. Like, I don't. Like, I could tell you now. I mean, I told her I'm in a relationship, but my account's still open because a lot of them are pay accounts, and you ain't gonna see who like you unless you swiping and you trying to fill it out. But you can see, you can go through it. Like, shit, sometimes I still swipe, but I don't make any, I just don't fucking, I don't send any messages to females because they don't send them. If you don't send no messages to them, for the most part, they ain't gonna send nothing to you unless they really find you attractive. You say your teacher back in high school had big eyes. So let me show you an example of a trash site. It's a when it comes to females. Let's go to Facebook dating. Wait a minute. So the Lakers won. Yeah, the Lakers beat the Nuggets, so they up 3-1. Or how's this going? Game 1. Let me try to find it. Oh no, they haven't played yet. So the Nuggets won. Oh no. That was game 4 yesterday. So the Lakers are up 3-1. They need to update the score. Okay. So they came back and won. Alright, so anyway, let me try to find it. Here it is. Dayton 1-0. Okay. Here we go. Oh, she's from Rio de Janeiro. She's older in Brazil, so I'm not gonna even bother. She got braces on mouth. She's not showing me her full body. I'm good. Let skip. Like that. This woman must be an actress. Oh no. She doesn't have kids. But she looks awkward. Nope. Skip. This woman look weird. I'm sorry. She just looks, I don't know, something look off about her. Skip. We got a woman with a piercing under her lip. And she's from the Bronx. Skip. Because she got a picture with her kid. And ew, skip. Then we have how I find most of the, this is what I was trying to skip to. The typical black woman I find on dating profiles, y'all. Seriously. Like, a lot of them are this just overweight like this. Now it's a better angle and stuff. And let's go up. No. Let's here. No full body shots. And then when you do, you start to see that she's big. She's only showing you from the angles. And she's only showing you that. And I'm like, no, I'm good. This is what I find most of the time. And then we got another one holding the camera like that. Holding the camera like that. And I'm like, no full body shots. Skip. Now, CJ, she's a hard-working, sarcastic, very fashionable and loyal, lover of God and family. Ugh. After checking a few profiles, I realized I should add some specifics. I'm not interested in hookups. I'm 5'11", which means if you are under 5'11", you may get a little intimidated. So they trying to say they don't want to date short men. And then with a face like that, no. Oh, no, I'm good. And then you got, I don't know, where she's a French female. It looked like, I don't know. Yeah, she's looking for a French speaker. So, but I'm just saying, look how when they have a decent size physique, they're not afraid to show it off. Just to show you an example. Like of that picture right there. Okay, skip. Then we have Kelly dating in 2020. This should be interesting. You know, let's see. She ain't got no ass. She's kind of built. She ain't got no hips or no ass. Skip. And then you got big women like this who are just showing you they just got nothing but butt. And she's blocking her stomach. As you can see, her stomach is kind of big. So look at the angle. And then you can see here that she's big. Look at that. Look at that right there. Look at that. All she's showing you is her butt, but she's obese, bro. Obese. Skip. And then you got this woman here who's 40 years old. She's 2 years younger than me. Look like she don't do her hair good enough. She got stomach too. That's why she's wearing a long shirt. Skip. Look at it. Oh, ew, look at her. She's ugly. Skip. Then you have an Indian woman with a name like Deepika. But ain't a fan of Indian women. Because a lot of them don't be having the backyard. They don't have, a lot of them don't be having the backyard. So, but she's cute though. She got a good shape to her. Okay. But like I said, Indian women only like other Indian men or white men. Skip. Now we got a sister here. Ooh, she got natural hair. She's kind of pretty. but then she got the natural short haircut right here. She's not overweight. She's into rock climbing. Okay, let's read her profile. See, this what makes you, when you start looking at certain things, she's a project manager. I'll do it here anyway. Why not? Okay. Now look at this one. You could tell she's overweight. Look at the fold right here on her neck, bro. Look at the angle. And what did I tell you? She's hiding it in that big ass thing. Overweight. Look at the neck. She's like Rick James did on Chappelle's show before he died, and he was all fat and shit. Cocaine's a hell of a drug. Nope. This woman here. Ooh, she got huge cheekbones. But let's see if she got a body as big as her cheekbones. And yes, she does. Skip. Now, look at this. I'm blessed. She got weed smoking lips. She look like Biz Markie, bro. Ebony, 41 years old. Look at her. She like my friend Janifa. I wouldn't be surprised if it's her sister. She from Newark too. Ew, yo. Ew, no, look at this. She keep taking pictures like that. Look at that. Look at the size of her face, bro. She thinks she cute. And then this is the cardinal sin right here. Stop fucking doing this, people. Stop it, yo. Stop this. That Snapchat filter, you're a grown ass woman. Stop it. Stop it. She's, ugh. I'm good. Then you got some preppy white female. Skip. And you got some really one with, she got eyes that are like solid black, like she a shark, and she's fat too. Skip. Then you got this female here. I don't know what she was looking at. She's looking down, but she's big too, I can tell. Skip. Then you have this sister right here. And why would you put this on there? The Monique 36. I love cornbreads and collard greens. Why you putting self-depreciation racism on? Oh fuck. She's from South Carolina, of course. She has nice cheekbones. Not bad looking, but how much is that in make? She wears a lot of makeup. But she got that boy. You know. She looks decent. But I want to see her without makeup. She got nice chocolate skin, which I do like. And she from South Carolina, where I got family from. Then you got this female says she's Jamaican, but she only got one profile pic. That means she's overweight. And then you got this one here who's definitely looking like, oh wait a minute, she's not? Oh, she got, her face look kind of funny, like she's old. She's 39, okay. She's younger than me. I'm 42. She works at a daycare. I thought for a second, but then she got a full body shot there. Which from the profile, so she got a decent body. She got a kind of a butter face, so skip. You get it, butter face, it's but her face. She got a bigger body. Butter face, man. That's why it's called Butterface. Not like actual butter. But her face, man. Butterface. Real quick. Got a tall sister here. New York, tiny fingers, tiny toes. She tall. Bam, like that. See? And we got some white chick with a big chin. Like Woody from Toy Story. Skip. You got this Latina here, Jasmine, who like she got huge tetas, but something ain't right about this. Let me look at those things. She's a social worker with, she got huge tetas, man. I'm sorry, those things are just humongous, bro. See that? She's showing you that what she got. That's what she's good for. That's what she feel like she got, is to show off those tetas. Skip. And yeah, that's just an example. I'm good. Just to show you a small amount of that. That's exactly what you're dealing with. So these women like to talk a lot of stuff about what you need to do and how you need to look, and you done seen what we up against. This is why even with women outpopulating men in America, we still have a hard time as men unless we lower our standards down. But that's the problem now. We need to keep our standards at whatever level. Whatever you into, you still keep your standards high, because if you can be into large women, but she still gotta be right up here. And a lot of guys don't do that. And a lot of guys, is a difference between a woman who got some meat on her bones and she a little overweight versus morbidly obese with flapjacks. You know? I like women that either look like Marvel girls or DC girls, Superwoman. Yeah, I like nerdy girls who actually aren't obese, and unfortunately, a lot of nerdy girls are like on the physical standpoint and the health standpoint, they don't do great. A lot of them don't on that. A lot of people are, oh, Kareem, how can you be so shallow? I was like, bitch, because I'm fucking older. I know the value of life. Look what I have on, y'all. Look at this. I have my name badge right here, for God's sakes. Look at this. A name badge right here. Yes. Outlaw is my last name. Can't make that shit up. I'm a goddamn EMT, alright? I took off my shirt earlier. I have my belt, which is attached here. I have my stuff right here, a mask, shares, a fucking flashlight. I'm into the medical field. I see firsthand. I deal with patients that gotta give them CPR. They having chest pains. They in the cardiac arrest and all this other stuff. I really ain't trying to be with somebody who ain't trying to give a damn about their health. And I've been like that for years since I started taking mine a little bit more serious. But now in this field, combine me taking it more serious with me seeing the ramifications of it firsthand. They are very hard to find. Very. You know, I'm like, it's so much that goes into it. It's more than just, people think, oh, is you all caught up on looks. I like I said before, she can look the part, she can look everything I want, but if I can't get along with her and she treat me like shit and had me feeling like less of a man, she is fucking disgusting and ugly to me on the inside, which matters mutually as much. So I'm like, you know what? I can't, like, I can't do this like that. But oh, you're welcome, Joey. Thank you so much. Like, I actually jumped at the opportunity to take EMT class because I've been in environmental services for like a better part of almost 6 years with medical center. I was a housekeeper, and I was going to school that they paid for, $1,600 for a 6-month course, and I was going to school for like 2 nights a week from July to December of 2018. And then after I got through the class, I fought like hell, you know, to keep my grades up or bring them back up when they were struggling. So in March of 2019, I took the test and I got certified, and I've been the EMT for 1.5 years now. I started volunteering with Hoboken, which is the neighboring city to Jersey City, because I couldn't get the job I'm currently at now that I just showed you the badge for. I was told that I didn't have enough experience. I need to go volunteer, work for medical transport, and then see us again. So I ended up having a second interview, and it turned out good. So here I am now, and I got transferred out of environmental services to emergency medical services back in May of this year, and I've been there since. Yeah, if you're taking care of yourself, it's better. You want somebody on your level, you do, And a lot of women don't understand. When a guy asks for somebody on his level, that's not disrespecting to you, because women ask for men who are above their level all the time. When a guy asks for the simplest thing, it's a fucking travesty. He's fat phobic, he's chauvinistic, he's this. And I'm like, what the fuck, are you serious? He's a misogynist. But you want what you want. And women, this is why somebody put up a meme that made perfect sense, saying, look, guys are not mad at Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion for WAP video. We just don't, a lot of guys don't want you to still think, a lot of guys are just upset at the fact that you can act like a hoe and still think you are going to be somebody's wife or be looked at as wifey material. You can't look at it like that. And a woman gotta understand, she don't have to act like a whore to not be wifey material. Some women aren't wifey material because they don't have the capacity to compromise. You get what I'm saying? A lot of women just want it their way of the highway. And this is what women do. Women say, look, this is why women take pictures like this all the time to show you everything. They take pictures like that to show you everything because that's all they have to offer. They know as long as you keep seeing this and you got an opportunity to get that, you're going to look past their flaws. We all are flawed individuals as human beings. There's no way of getting around that. But if y'all aren't getting along, or you don't know how to be a person's boyfriend or girlfriend, you're pretty much going to your relationships are just going to crash and burn all the time. Hey, what's going on, Venture, bro? It's just going to keep crashing and burning. A lot of them don't know how to keep men, but they the first ones to complain and blame everything on us. This is why I was saying earlier, this is why some incels don't know. They don't take this and just do them. They want to blame it on women. I'm like, yeah, you know there's women out there who ain't shit and stuff. And you need to just understand, stop blaming them all. I don't blame all women I don't blame all women like that. Some women like to say it online, that they like to blame men for a lot of it. And I just said that a lot of them blame men. But a lot of these women like to start shit online. A lot of these women talk this shit about how they say face online, and then when they log off, they got them a pookie. They got them how Kid Organic say, a little neck bone and 12 gauge mic. You know, they got them a hood dude, but they online kicking every guy's back in. Some women only like hood dudes. You know? Some of them only like hood dudes and stuff. And as a guy, if you're not a hood dude, don't get mad over this. Don't sweat it. Don't get mad at the dude. Don't get mad at the Pookie Ray Rays and 12 gauge mics. Don't get mad at them. Don't get mad at them. Just realize they did you a favor. And then when you see that chick a couple years from now and she got a bunch of kids or something and she still ain't in a successful relationship or marriage, guess what? He did you a favor. He did you a favor. But women see themselves too much. They compete too much with one another. Now, I know a lot of guys hate on one another, but women, a lot of women compete with one another. And I could tell you this, y'all. It was a female I used to really like, but then I realized what the fuck was I thinking. She told me the guy that she was at was you. She like, you don't understand. He was nothing. He ain't like any type of guy. She like, I usually date guys like you who really nice and this, that, and the fourth. But he was at this party. He was at my friend's party. He was loud. He was the life of the party. All the women were all over him, and I just had to have him. And you heard what she didn't say, right? He was loud. She said he was loud, the life of the party, and all the women were all over him. I had to have him. She didn't say it's because I was competing with those other chicks. Women see somebody and you only appear to be high value when you are desired by multiple women at the same time. Okay? Or if you don't sweat them. And when I say sweat them, let's say example, you spit a little game at them and then they turn around and they reject you, and you just pick yourself up by the bootstraps and just move on, and you don't sit there and dwell on her. You don't. She see you doing good with somebody else, or she see you just basically not fazed by it. That's where you need to be. This is as guys, we need to pick ourselves up by the bootstraps and stop being, and a lot of the incels need to pick themselves up by the bootstraps and stop obsessing over women that they don't have a chance with, or women who don't want to give them a chance. It's a difference. Women they don't have a chance with, and then there's women that don't want to give them a chance. Women who, I can tell you this now, when I was working environmental, there was a lot of women who worked the same position or a comparable position within the hospital, but they don't see you as boyfriend material or potential material, or they want to date below you. There's no in the middle. They're like Sith Lords. Only Sith believe in absolute. You gotta be absolutely everything up here that can take care of them and give them some life, or you have to be the bottom of the barrel. There's not really in between that they like working with, especially where I come from. And you said take care. Take care, Chad. All right, you out. I'm here now. I'm out. Peace. Thanks for watching my videos, man. You know how my outros be. And let me see. Women want a guy with high status to them. Yeah, because women can bust their ass and be like, I'm educated. I got this good paying job. I'm looking for a man on my level. And they looking for a guy above them so they don't have to work for much. And then she'd tell you, you lame, you broke, you a working class man, and she'd tell you you ain't shit. But then she end up fucking Pookie because Pookie got that swagger and stuff. And you might have swagger, but you don't put up with her bullshit. That's why there's no in-betweens. There's absolutely some guy who put up with her bullshit because he's beneath her and she probably taking care of this nigga. Or it's a guy who's completely above her and she's gonna put up with that bullshit because he's gonna give her the life that she wanted. Absolutes. Controllable, being controlled. Either way, when she got the guy who's beneath her, she can control him and she can get some dick. Okay? But when she got a guy that's above her, she feel like she going after that bag. She can get dick. And she can latch on to him and have children by him. And if shit go awry, she can take him to court. It's a lot of things you got to factor in to being in a relationship with a lot of these women out here today. You fucked either way. And a lot of guys need to realize that and realize that it ain't worth crying a lot over a lot of these chicks. It's not worth crying over them. We all, in a perfect world, we all want to find somebody we can fall in love with, have kids and grow old with, but we have to be realistic. If it don't happen on the schedule you wish it happened, don't let your life go by you sitting here thinking, my life ain't complete because I haven't found nobody. You had somebody right there who didn't see you for what you were because you weren't what they want. You weren't some fantasy. You weren't some Prince Charming. You wasn't some Mr. Clean. they blew their opportunity. And then you realize after you completely got them out of your system, you done moved on, you done realize they bad decision making, you dodged a bullet over that. But I digress, y'all. So I'm bringing this stream to a close, y'all. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Sticking with me for over 2.5 hours with this one. I had a lot to say. I started off with game talk, and then I then moved into this. But I'm tired. I'm a little hungry. I'm gonna go get me a snack, and then I'm taking it down, y'all. But thank you so much, everybody, y'all, for showing up. Even those who's not even in the stream anymore. If you watch this on replay, thank you so much, y'all. From Reva to Venture Bro, for even though you came in, thank you for popping up, y'all. Joey, who's already bid his goodbyes. Nemesis for popping up, still showing that he's still around the channel. Chris Marinos came out of, he's in the military, but he came back. Kareem Pride, whoever wasn't talking but was still watching, any of you, thank you so much. The spook who sat by the door, Power, which I talk to regularly, all of you guys, yo. But yo, seriously, thank you for showing up, y'all. Peace out, man. Later. Peace.